Hello, hello, my fellow creatives. Welcome, welcome. I am Imani the writer, and this is the Healing Creative Podcast, where I, a Black girl creative, take you along my healing journey. Feel free to join me. I want to give some content warnings, some trigger warnings. This episode, we will probably be discussing, we will be discussing domestic violence. We may also be discussing themes of sexual violence and abuse. And while the primary focus of today's topic and today's podcast episode will be on safety, please prioritize your mental health and your emotional well-being, and check the description box below for additional resources in case you might need them or know anyone that needs them. And please share down below any additional resources that you are aware of that could be helpful to anybody who is in a similar situation, who's in a DV situation or a violent situation or an abusive relationship or anything of the like that can benefit from those resources. Stay safe out there, you guys. I love you, and I want you to be safe. I want you to be healthy. I want you to be happy. And well, yeah, let's get into today's topic. I pretty much mentioned what we're going to be talking about today. The topic is how we can keep ourselves safe, especially when we're dating, any potential signs of abusive relationships and things that we can do once we realize that we are in one, what we can do to protect ourselves and to stay safe. I decided to talk about this because I've been very upset with what I've been seeing in pop culture news today lately. It's just been one case after the next, hasn't it? Especially within the Black community. We have Keke Palmer and what her partner did to her. We have the Diddy trial that is ongoing right now. The Shannon Sharpe situation, oh God, that is especially disgusting to me. As well as the Diddy trial, like this is just the worst. We've got DDG and Halle Bailey. That broke my fucking heart, you guys. Because after, like at that point, it's just, we have seen so many cases come out and cases being discussed one after another that when the news broke that Halle Bailey was given a restraining order from the judge and sole temporary custody of Halo because of what happened, I was like, not you two. Fuck. Like, I knew that relationship was toxic, but I didn't know that he's out here, he's putting his hands on her, you guys. What is going on? Like, what is going on with these men? I'm not even like Sky Jackson. Like, it just breaks my heart. It really does. Because they're all so young, and even Cassie was so young when Diddy first came into her life. And like, I see myself in a lot of these women because like Allie's just 1 year younger than me, and all these women are just so young. Even like in the Shannon Sharpe situation, she was 19 years old when they met. The man was in his 50s. Like, this is just disgusting. Like, what's happening? And it bothers me that she was 19 years old on OnlyFans. Why is she on OnlyFans? Like, why isn't she in school? Like, what's going on? Where are her parents? Like, oh, sorry. I dropped something. Where are her parents? Like, what kind of environment is she living in to where it's possible for her to be on OnlyFans at 19 years old? This is nuts. I'm worried. I'm worried. All this coming out, plus the men's crisis. Like, it's just not looking good. It's not looking good out there. And I'm very worried. I'm worried for myself. I'm worried for other young women out there like myself who are dating, who want to find love, and who this is what we're up against. It feels like it's almost damn near not worth it. Like, I'm very scared. I'm very scared. There's safety. There's a certain level of safety in singlehood. Ain't nobody beating on me. Ain't nobody hurting me. Ain't nobody fucking with my feelings and messing with my heart. Like, there's a comfort and a safety here. Like, as much as I want love, I don't want it by all means necessary. I don't want it at all costs. Like, if it's not healthy and happy and safe and functional and peaceful and productive, if it's not a safe space for us to live, both me and my future partner, my hopeful future partner that's out there, if it's not safe and beautiful and wonderful for both of us equally, beautiful and wonderful for both of us, it's not worth it. It's just not. I'm scared. Like, and it's getting to the point where like I say it's like an irrational fear, but it's not. Is it really an irrational fear? Like, I genuinely am afraid to put myself out there because of these things going on, especially as And the most upsetting thing to me is that like a lot of the victims that I mentioned in a lot of these high profile cases are women of color, Black women especially. Oh, and all of the perpetrators are, oh, my crystal fell off. Sorry. Where did the ring go? Oh no, this one's not closing properly. And all of the perpetrators are Black men. That upset me the most. We need to talk. Black men, we need to have a conversation. What's going on? What's happening? Violence against women is an issue everywhere, but what's going on, especially in Hollywood, where it's just boom, 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 one after the next like that. Chris Brown is in jail where he belongs. What else? What else? Fucking, what's his name? Tory Lanez was attacked in prison and has the nerve to complain. Has the nerve to complain. And has the nerve to, like, no. First and foremost, you sitting there gaslighting Megan. Like, how do you know you were shot? How do you know you were stabbed? Like, literally. How does it feel? How does it feel to be attacked? How does it feel to be victimized? Because that's what you did. And that's why you landed yourself. I don't give a damn who stabbed you. Honest, I really don't. I really don't. I'm glad you're alive, but oh, you're not about to leave that prison. You're not. You belong there. That's your people. Those are your people. Okay? Those are your people. I don't know why, but these crystals, the ones at the bottom, are not doing a good job of staying put. So I'm going to take them out. Let's talk about that. Do you like my crystals? Do you like them? I love them so much. One fell on the floor. I'm a mess. But these are doing a really good job of staying in place. I love them. I got the crystals themselves on Amazon and I attached them to hair rings so I can put them in my locks. I think the hair rings are the issue. And these were an old pack. I just recently got a new pack that seems a little bit more secure. But I love them and I decided to wear them today because I was wearing this cute, cozy sweatshirt. I wanted to be comfortable. And I noticed like, oh, my crystals are pink and blue. So since we're wearing the blue sweatshirt, let's put on the crystals and do like a cute little pink makeup look, pink lip and shimmery blush. I use like the blush beauty wand from e.l.f. I put it away already, but I really, really love it. They have a highlighter beauty wand as well. And I love them both. Do you like it? Do you like it? I love it. I love it. It's nice and cute. And I'm able to just still be cozy in my pajamas. My pajama pants are pink too. Listen, I didn't even realize that. Can I show you? I can't raise my leg that far. You're just gonna have to know. You're just gonna have to know. It's pink and blue today. That's the vibe. Cotton candy. That's what it is. But yeah, I still want love. But I'm recognizing that I really haven't put in 1 inch of effort to get it for a really long time. Because I'm safe. Being single means there's a certain level of safety and comfort in being single, right? I'm not going to pressure myself to do that now. I'm in the process of like looking to relocate. And I'm excited about, I used to be excited about like giving dating a proper, honest try in this new city, at least before deciding to give up entirely. Like I can at least just actually try to put in some sort of effort. And if it doesn't work out, at least rest easy knowing that I can enjoy my life because I did my best. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not going to sit there feeling terrible that, oh, it didn't happen for me. I give it a try. It didn't work out. So I can still enjoy the safety and comfort of being single, knowing that I gave it a try, you know what I'm saying? Like, and just move on, you know what I'm saying? But there's this quiet fear within me that just makes me not want to bother. And it's because of these cases, just boom, 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 one after the other. I'm very nervous. I'm very scared. And I've done a lot of research to understand why these cycles of abuse happen, what these predators look for actively in targets. How do they capture our hearts and control our minds in such a way that we don't feel comfortable leaving? And the more research that I do, the more that I realize, yeah, sometimes there are red flags, but sometimes there aren't. Sometimes you're dealing with a very sophisticated manipulator and he waits until you reach a certain level of investment in the relationship to show you his true colors. And some of them can wait for years. They can keep that mask on for years. Wait until you're married, wait until you have children. And it's sad. And it's just like, okay, well, what do you do? You know? But there are some signs, there are some things that we can do to keep ourselves safe. There are resources out there for us once we realize that we aren't. And I'm ready to share this with you guys. I want to share with you guys everything that I've learned, everything that I've learned so far. And I'm also doing this podcast for myself. I want to be able to listen back to this or watch this video again so that I can know what to do if I'm ever in a situation where I don't feel safe. So yeah, let's start with addressing this fear. If you feel this fear that I do, that is just like, girl, let me just take myself out the fucking market. Let me not bother. Let me just stay safe in my home because it's kind of scary out there. I don't know what's going on. I get it. I get it. I get it. I know exactly what that's like. That feeling is completely valid. These are some scary times. And you don't have to feel bad for that. I kind of felt a little bad for that for a minute. I was kind of just like, I want love, but I don't want this mess. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, what do you do? What do you do? So let's start. I wanted to start the conversation with empathy and support. And to know that, yeah, this is weird. This is terrible. These times are ridiculous. And none of us should have to put up with this. None of us should have to arm ourselves and prepare ourselves for the gravity of how unsafe it is being born in a woman's body. How unsafe it is navigating life and navigating love when you're dealing with men specifically. This is not okay. And we shouldn't have to put up with this. And it's scary. But we can't live our lives in fear. Otherwise, we wouldn't be living. So I've been thinking and journaling about different ways that we can sort of start addressing that fear of finding ourselves in a terrible situation, in a terrible relationship. So here's what I wrote down. It's so important that we seek out therapeutic support or self-guided healing if therapy isn't available to you. And the goal would be to start building relationship-related trust and healing that anticipation and anxiety around, like, what if this happens to me? What if this happens to me? Now, on some level, like, we don't have to completely get rid of that. We have to be aware that these things are possible and to still take safety measures necessary. But we can't let that fear just paralyze us in our own daily lives. So if therapy isn't necessarily available to us, journaling helps me tremendously. Books, self-help books are so helpful. Educating myself allows me to feel more confident that should a situation arise, I'm probably will be able to handle it. It gives me more confidence that if I see a sign, I can walk away. Even though that there is this quiet fear that it might happen. Educating myself on what to do when it does also gives me a roadmap. Like, if it does happen, I'm not alone. I don't have to figure out how to navigate this just off the dome, off my own brain. I don't have to just sort all these things out by myself. There are resources out there for me. There are organizations out there to help me. And there are loved ones around me to support. So yeah, remember that you are safe and you can protect yourself. And this is for the people who have that fear, that aren't dating, they're just single, but they still have that fear, and that's kind of stopping them from dating. In this moment right now, it's important to remember that you are safe. You don't have to be afraid right now. So your safety here is a good thing. And I've been trying affirmations to kind of just boost my own confidence that I can protect myself. I can take the necessary measures to keep myself safe if these things were to arise. Affirmations like, I am capable of recognizing red flags. I can learn information to help keep myself safe. I have what it takes to help keep myself safe. I trust myself to walk away when something doesn't feel right, even if I don't do it right away. Sometimes we really go hard on each other or hard on ourselves when we don't leave right away. But the point is to leave at some point, right? So it doesn't really matter when you left, you know what I'm saying? The point is you left. There are so many situations that you yourself have walked away from. Even if you didn't walk away on day one, the point is you walked away. So that affirmation is really helpful to me. Like, I trust myself to walk away when something doesn't feel right at some point. My past does not define my future. I am worthy of safe reciprocal love. It's so important to just keep reminding yourself of the kind of love you deserve. You deserve to be safe. You deserve to be cared for. You deserve to have your body respected, your mind, your emotional well-being respected in all forms and in all the best ways. Always. Always, always. Another thing that was helpful to me is to try to curate as many healthy relationship models. Admittedly, I didn't have many in my own childhood, but the cool thing about social media is that you kind of have a way to simulate that in some form or fashion. And even if you can't necessarily find healthy relationship models, you can find models for what healthy masculinity looks like, which was really, really helpful for me. Intentionally expose yourself to media and to stories of safe, nurturing love. This can include fiction. I'm not the biggest romance lover, but reading healthy romance novels can be really, really helpful to just rewire your brain for what is and is not acceptable. You know what I mean? I recently discovered the Man Enough podcast, and that has been really helpful for me because I really love the way that they tackle a lot of the discussions that they have in real time. Like, they're able to show me in real time that men can do the work to heal because they're doing it themselves. You know what I mean? And they empathize with women's struggles. They empathize with the things that we put up with in life. And they also empathize with men's struggles as well, but they also very firmly believe in holding men accountable for their actions and showing men what healing looks like by doing that work themselves and displaying that for men to be able to watch and to see on their podcast. Sidebar. This is a big reason why the Blake Lively lawsuit situation upsets me as much as it does. Because one of the hosts, Liz Plank, left, and they haven't released another episode since late 2024 at the time of this recording. And it's obvious that it's because of the lawsuit between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. Now, Justin Baldoni is far from perfect. I am not I'm not singing this man's praises. I'm not worshiping the ground he walks. We're not doing all that. He's still a man. Okay, he is still a man. But you really could see all the research and the education that he's done undertaking these projects. You can see the good intention in his podcast. You could see the good intention in the film. And here come Blake Lively just coming in to sabotage the whole thing and make it all about herself. Now, granted, because I believe in believing victims, I'm at least willing to wait until the trial before deciding outright that she's lied about absolutely everything and nothing ever happened. But I really don't care for her behavior when it comes to this lawsuit. Like, more and more things are coming out to showcase that she's not forthcoming with the truth. She's not forthcoming with evidence. She's actively hiding things. The sham lawsuit with the Shazam. What is happening? Like, it just feels like a lot of weird and shady things are going on. And by now, Justin Baldoni has provided more than enough evidence to suggest that she has been allegedly lying about a lot of things. And we can see malicious intent here. Allegedly. We can see malicious intent for how she just showed up and wanted to take over this film and make it all about her and be in control of everything instead of just being an actor. Be an actor. Play the role. Why do you have to control everything? Like, come on. But anyway, once again, I'm not just going to say that she lied about everything, that nothing happened between the two of them, that Justin didn't do anything wrong. Obviously, there's her side, there's his side, and the truth is probably somewhere in the middle, but it's looking to be, that middle is leaning towards Justin's side. That's what it just looks like right now, because I don't care for her tactics when it comes to filing and everything like that. It feels very shady. Ryan Reynolds feels very shady. Everything feels very shady. And there was good work going on with this film. There was good work with the Man Enough podcast. There was good work happening here. And you sabotaged it. You sabotaged it and made it all about yourself. Things have still worked out in such a way that people who watched the film, where there were people who were positively influenced and positively impacted by it. It doesn't erase all of the good impact that these projects had on people and on society, but it just sucks. It sucks. It really does suck. But anyway, I recommend taking a look at the Man Enough podcast. Whenever I am just bombarded with negative content and commentary and news surrounding how men are behaving in this year of 2025, the podcast has a way of restoring some of my faith in men again, restoring some of my faith that there are good guys out there and that there is opportunity for men, even the bad guys, to grow. The bad guys out there, there's a room and opportunity for them to heal and for them to grow and for them to be better men for themselves and for their loved ones and for their communities. Also, it just gives me even more permission to keep my standards very, very high and require these men to do the work. I require this work from you at this point. You cannot have access to me otherwise. Because when you see these men doing the work on screen, or when you listen to it on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or whatever, when you're witnessing the work being done actively, and see that it's possible for men to do it, and you see that they're being forthcoming with how they're doing it, they're sharing resources with you, at that point there's no excuse, right? So no man can just show up to me acting a damn fool and blaming everyone in the world for it except looking inward. No, you can't come to me with that energy. Look at these men doing the work and changing and having a better impact. They're not perfect. They're gonna fuck up. I don't expect you to be perfect. I expect you to fuck up sometimes, but I don't expect you to fuck up in ways that are going to destroy me. Okay? You don't have the right to fuck with me. You don't have the right to abuse me. You don't have the right to abuse anybody. You don't have the right to throw your weight around in society like the world owes you something, and to just rob it and to take it from them and to take it from people and to terrorize people. No, you can do the work. These men are doing the work. They're showing you how to do it. They're paving a path forward for you. And if you decide not to take it, that's your decision. And that is an active decision. And you don't get to sit around and pretend that you don't have a choice, that you are just the way that you are. It's the world's fault. No, there is a path forward for you. And there are other podcasts besides the Man Enough podcasts even. There are other communities and organizations. A Call to Men is an organization that they really, really love at the Man Enough podcast. A Call to Men is a whole organization dedicated to men, to help them, to educate them, to help them heal, to help them grow, to help them. There's a plane passing by. I don't know if you can hear it. To help them heal, to help them grow, so that they don't have to, so that the patriarchy doesn't have the same impact it had on them before, to put all this pressure on them to be this big macho manly men in such a way that's just unsustainable and won't make you happy and compel you to even hurt others. You know what I mean? They're showing you the way. There's no excuse to not follow them. There's no excuse to not do the work yourself. It's there for you. At the same time, you can't pressure nobody. People have to be ready. They have to be ready. So any man that's coming into my life, you got to be ready. You got to be ready. You got to be ready to watch this kind of content. You got to be ready to do this kind of work. You have to be ready to have these conversations and to look inward and find a path forward where you're not hurting people. Okay? Anyway, that was a bit of a tangent, but I say all that to say the content that you watch is critical. If you are seeing a lot of news about the things that men are doing that are terrible, you have to supplement that with the things that men are doing that are good, with the things that men are doing that are progressive, that can help and solve the problem. That's what's been really, really helpful for me. Another thing is to just build a safety net and a safety plan around your heart, right? So instead of trying to eliminate all of the possible risks to avoid ending up in a toxic or abusive relationship, which is just not possible, and we really have to start having a little bit more compassion. There's a lot of women on TikTok, a lot of people just in general, just have this attitude like, it could never be me. It could, shut the fuck up. It could be you tomorrow. Like, shut up. Like, actually, it could be you tomorrow. Don't talk about it could never be me. It could be any of us. It could be any of us, of any age, of any race, of any gender, of any tax bracket. It could be anyone. All right. Well, if it were me, you don't know what you would do. Shut up. Shut up. Get up out of here with that attitude. Stop it. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. So yes, while it's not possible to eliminate all of the risk, we can build a framework that can allow us to feel safer when we are navigating our relationships with various men in our lives. So we have to know what our non-negotiables are. Trust a slow build intimacy. I don't know if I mentioned this in another podcast episode before, but it's something that I've been saying a lot in just my conversations with people. I think I'm going to approach dating a lot slower. Like if a guy were to ask me out, I'd be like, listen, why don't we try something? Yeah. Let's try just getting to know each other platonically, just being friends for a while. No pressure, nothing romantic. No pressure. We'll just hang out and get to know each other. And if you're still interested in me in a romantic way in 2 months, feel free to ask me out again and we'll go on a proper date then. Yeah, so we can hang out for sure. We can go out to eat, whatever. I will pay for my own shit. Sex is 100% off the table. Any kind of sexual, physical contact. That's what I meant to say. Contact is 100% off the table because I don't do that with my friends. When I hang out with my friends, we are not touching each other that way, and we pay for our own shit or take turns paying for each other. That's how it is with my friends. So that's what I'm going to do with you. If you're still interested in me romantically after 2 to 3 months of doing that, feel free to ask me out again and we'll go on a proper date. I'm gonna try to just approach it with a friendship mindset, with a community mindset. You know what I mean? Instead of just the swiping, and I'm tired of it. I want something slower. I want to take my time. I want to know people first before rushing into anything, you know? So yeah, trusting a slow burn intimacy. And also share any fears that you may have with trusted friends and dating so that you have support and so that you have their perspective. Sidebar. Why do I keep saying sidebar? It's because I've been keeping up with the Diddy trial on the Kempire channel. He's always saying sidebar, my bad. Which I recommend his channel. Go check it out. He's been doing daily summaries for the Diddy trial. So check that out if you want. He also does other pop culture and news related stuff. So feel free to check that out. If you don't care for the Diddy trial, he definitely talks about other things. But yeah. So side note, remember Risa Tisa? And if you don't know, Risa Tisa came out with a 50-part TikTok series called Who the Fuck Did I Marry? And it was the story about how she met, married, and divorced her pathologically lying husband. That was nuts. If I can find a whole series down below on YouTube, I'll link it. It was crazy, you guys. And you could probably find it on her TikTok page if you want. I don't really feel like sometimes you just want to just have the one thing, right? So I tend to watch it on YouTube. It really had an impact on me, that story, because, and again, it's another Black woman and a Black man, and it's so triggering at this point, like, because it's always us. It's not always us, but it's just like the ones I hear about, it always be us, and it's just sad. It's upsetting to me. It really is. But it had an impact on me because I remember that she was saying that she was talking to herself about what was going on in their relationship and doing like the voice memos and stuff and just recording herself and just speaking out loud and talking to herself. And she remembered her gaslighting herself into thinking that she was paranoid and just overthinking, right? Like she's saying, well, this happened and that was weird. But wait, it could have been this, it could have been that. Like, do you really not know what it's like to have a good man in your life that you just second guess everything with? This is the kind of thing, the way she would talk to herself. And there were times that I remember doing the same thing to myself. When I saw red flags, I would sit there trying to understand, trying to find other explanations to rationalize what I was seeing. But the big main difference between how my stories unfolded in the romantic sphere of my life and how her story played out is that I told my friends about these red flags and I'd be like, hey, I'm going to tell you something. Give me your take on it. I'm going to try to tell it as fairly as possible and as objectively as possible without interjecting my thoughts and my beliefs and my feelings about it. I just want to know what you think, how you would take the situation. And they would tell me their honest takes. Having my friends confirm that I'm not crazy, it gave me the confidence that I needed to end situations that needed to end. So, because like, if I feel it in my gut and they see it too, then there's no way I can't face my friends after having that conversation, having not ended. My pride would not have allowed it. Like, there's no way. I feel it. I see what's going on. They see what's going on, and I don't end it. Like, my pride just would not allow that for me. And I'm really, really blessed that I had great friends around, and I still do have great friends that can be honest with me and that I trust with their thoughts and with their opinions. I shudder to think what would happen if I had friends that I couldn't trust to give me sound advice, which sucks. It oftentimes happens. Sometimes we ask friends or ask family members for advice about our toxic relationships, and they tell us to stay for a variety of reasons. Sometimes they themselves are in toxic relationships, and they'll give you bad advice because it's the advice that they tell themselves to make them feel comfortable staying. You know what I mean? And also it just makes them feel uncomfortable that you're even considering leaving, because if you leave your toxic situation, then they have to question why they're staying in theirs. And sometimes they're just not ready to do that work. So sometimes they will convince you to stay in yours so that they can feel comfortable staying in theirs. It's tough. It's tough. The people around you make a huge difference when it comes to how you navigate these relationships. It's very important to have good friends. Whether you're single or not, it's always important for you to have good friends around you that want the best for you and who wouldn't let their own life and their own insecurities get in the way of wanting best for you and encouraging good things for you, and who you can trust to give sound, credible advice. And even if they can't provide you with that advice themselves, they would be right alongside you looking for the resources so that you can find the exact specific thing that you need. Like, they will help you look for the people that would help you. They will help you look for the information that you need. It's so important to have friends like that. And it sucks that Risa Tisa didn't really, like, she had friends and good friends, but she didn't confide in anybody until it was kind of too late. So building a community around you is so important when dating. That's why when I relocate, I am not going to be itching to date too quickly. Like, it's going to be very important for me. Like, I'm always going to have the friends that I have, for sure. But it's important for me to take a minute, take a couple months, like at least 6 months, to just focus on finding community and making new friends and building new connections before I really have any man all up in my face like that. Any man, that's what I'll do. Any man that comes to me trying to date and everything, I'm not necessarily going to reject him, but I'm just going to let him know, like, I just got here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm more so focused on building friendships and building community. That's what I can do for you. If you still feel like you're interested in me after a certain amount of time, feel free to ask me out again later. But for now, this is what I got. This is what I can give. This is what I can offer. I can't do nothing else. I can't. I can't. But anyway, yeah. Okay, moving right along. Let's just come up with like I want us to come up with a general relationship safety plan and think about like ways we can tweak it depending on your own situation and customize it for you. And the first step is kind of just preparation before even putting yourself out there dating. I think it's so important to name and list your boundaries in advance, before there's even a guy around. Write them down, list them in advance, write down your emotional, physical, and sexual boundaries clearly for yourself, and spiritual boundaries if you have those as well. And practice assertiveness. Like, if you are a recovering people pleaser like myself, it's important to, like, what I do is I practice saying these things to myself and writing down the phrases in advance so that I can say them in the mirror, using phrases like, I'm just not comfortable with that, or I need time to think about this, or just like practice saying your boundaries out loud. If you can't say them out loud to yourself in the mirror, how are you going to say them to a person and reinforce them, when they're crossed? You have to, if you struggle with that, it's important to practice. It's important, once again, to build a support circle around you. Choose a few people, like your friends, family, therapists, mentors, to check in with them regularly. This is so important to me when I make my move to my new city. Like, it's that the first priority for me. Well, for one, the first priority for me is just really getting financially stable. Like, I mean, I am financially stable, but just like get caught up in the routine. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can plan my spending. Like, I already have, you know what I'm saying? I got spreadsheets upon spreadsheets breaking down like my monthly paycheck, like breaking down like how my paycheck is going to be divided into different things and trying to anticipate how much things will cost in my new city. But like, the real goal financially is just like, once I'm there and I'm settled, to pay attention to my actual financial reality. How much in reality am I spending on all of the things in comparison to what I projected that I would be able to spend? So for your financial independence is very important. Very important. Very important. Okay. Get your money up and learn how to steward your money well. Anyway, but beyond that, building community, seeking out community. I know one person so far, and I'm pretty close to, but it's important to me to make more friends and to build more community. in a slow burn kind of way. You know what I'm saying? So start with the neighbors, start with people just in your neighborhood. One of the cool things I'm excited to do is I think I'm going to try using ClassPass and to do workouts classes and stuff, connect with the people there, and other artistic classes and things that I've always wanted to do. I'm excited to do them there in my new city and to make friends with the people there. Just start with the places that you go to on a regular basis and build a sort of routine, and the more often you see the same people, just keep connecting with them in that way and building community, especially with other fellow women. It's so important. One thing, keep a private journal. Keep a private journal, different from your other journals, that is a space where you can document anything that feels off with any guy that you're dating. Subtle red flags, any sort of manipulation tactics or guilt tripping or isolation tactics. This has helped me in the past. Okay, back when I was doing dating apps, I honestly think that, like, I'm just hoping that God blesses me with the man that's supposed to be my husband, that I'm just able to just meet him out in the wild, that I'm just able to meet him when I'm just going about my daily life. I don't want to download another damn dating app ever the fuck again. I really don't. I really don't. I hope I never have to. I really, really hope I never have to. I'm gonna give dating in person a try for like 1 year, an honest try 1 year, to really put myself out there once a week to a new social, put myself in another social situation. It also helps that I'm just going to be living in a city where, like, walking down the street, I'll be walking out and about more often and meeting people out and about more often, instead of living kind of like in a suburb where you have to drive everywhere and I work from home most days. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be out and about. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give that a try for a solid year, and if nothing happens, nothing comes of it, then I'll download a dating app. I have to be very, 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 very careful. But again, I'm going on a tangent. This helped me in the past when I was using a dating app to really put 2 and 2 together that somebody was married and to be able to cut that off. Because it's easy to ignore red flags when it's just like when they're not one after the other like that, when time kind of passes by between the first one and the second one. And sometimes you just forget. Sometimes you just forget the things that happened in the past that were small. But it's much harder when you've been keeping notes of all the shenanigans going on, and you just can't ignore it. You can't ignore it when it's all listed out right in front of you. It's just all laid out in front of you. And I'm just like, okay, this paints a picture. Let me stay far away from this. This has happened. This has helped me escape a lot of terrible, terrible potential dating situations just by keeping a journal. It's so fun. I mean, I guess I never really got confirmation that the guy was married, but the guy was married or had some sort of woman living with him, because it was dumb. Like, it was just like, he could FaceTime at work. He can FaceTime to and from work, but he can't FaceTime at home. Yeah, let's move on. It was stupid. It was stupid. I mean, there were other situations that's just like, I was able to just easily put 2 and 2 together and be like, ooh, this guy's bad news, and just leave, because it's all laid out in front of you. All of it. Even if it doesn't even get to the point of abuse, it's still helpful for you to see it all laid out all at once. You know what I mean? So keeping a journal is really, really helpful. You can also set up some sort of code word with someone that you trust during texts and calls if you ever feel unsafe and can't talk freely. I need to do that. I've never actually made one for my friends, so I'm definitely gonna do something like that. Make sure to keep digital backups of super important documents like IDs, passwords, passports, emergency phone numbers. You can keep them in a secure cloud folder. That's something I gotta take care of that too. I gotta do all that too. You got to. But let's keep going. Let's talk about early dating. These are kind of basics, but I just wanted to run through them quickly. When you're early dating, make sure to meet in a public space. You can use Google Voice or other apps for phone calls and texts until you trust this person with your phone number, or you can use Instagram if you feel more comfortable with that. I feel a little bit nervous because Instagram is like, I don't know, they can learn, once they know your Instagram and you decide to block them, they can just make up other Instagram accounts to continue harassing you, you know what I mean? And then my whole life ain't on my Instagram. All I post are reels of this podcast, and I think I might just keep it that way. And I might post a selfie here and there. I'm not tagging nobody in nothing. I'm not tagging nobody in nothing especially no one in my family. I'm not even gonna follow anyone in my family. Like, that's no, my personal life is my personal life. My Instagram is just for my art and my creative life and my creative journey and things like that. It's not for y'all to be all up in my business. No. But do whatever you feel most comfortable with to make sure that, like, if you don't feel comfortable giving your phone number out, you can do something else. Make sure to have your own transportation to and from your meeting places and to avoid moving to second locations with this person if this is someone new that you're meeting for the first time. Even if you're doing what I'm planning on doing and just being like, oh, we're just friends, we're not actually going out on a date. No, that's still a man. That is still a man. We are not going to no second location. You're not picking me up or dropping me off nowhere. I meet you wherever we're going. We spend however time we're going to spend in that big public place with lots of witnesses, and I'm going home alone. And if you're in an online or long distance relationship, just avoid oversharing personal information too early. Don't talk so much about what you want in a man, like, early on. You know what I'm saying? If he asks, give something basic. Like, I want someone who's nice. I want someone who's kind. You know, basics. Say something basic. Don't tell him actual things that you are actively looking for. That's part of your vetting process. You know what I mean? Like, just say something basic that anyone would say. You know what I mean? You know, like, or just say, like, I'm not looking for anything. I'm just looking for friendships right now. I'm looking to see if I can get along with you. I'm looking to see if we can enjoy each other's company. We'll go from there. You know what I'm saying? But don't be so quick to be telling people, giving a whole list about everything you want in a man and just providing it for him. Like, I want you to do this, and then he does it for like 6 months, and then you're married, and then he shows you who he really is. Like, don't do that. No, don't do that. And don't overshare your personal life. Make sure to verify your identities through video chat for sure. We're not getting catfished in 2025. I feel like if for people to still be catfished in 2025, you just don't listen. You don't listen. You don't pay attention. Catfish has been around for so long. The fact that, like, the show doesn't need to exist anymore. Y'all should just know by now to stop. To stop with the foolishness. To verify through video. You should know by now. Come on, guys. And be very cautious about location share only with your trusted friends. Very careful. Okay? I want to take a minute to share some resources with you guys just in case you might need them. Just in case. And if you ever forget, this video will be here. This podcast episode will be here. It will always be linked in the description box below. It's here for you. Just if you forget, if you bookmark them and everything to save them for future reference, but then life happens and you lost them, just bookmark this video. This video will always be there for you. So first off, the National Domestic Violence Hotline provides 24/7 support via phone, chat, and text. The phone number is 1-800-799-7233. That will also be in the description box below for you. They offer a customizable safety planning tool. Safety planning is so important if you are in a violent relationship and you are looking to leave, or even just abusive emotionally or financially or something like that. If you are in something that is not good, you need a safety plan. I even might consider a safety planning tool when you're willing to break up with any guy. Because sometimes, even the Halle Bailey situation, it sounds like, according to the court filings, that things got physical after she left. It was always probably like emotionally abusive. DDG definitely weaponized his audience against her a lot, even when they were together. So there was definitely abusive tendencies in the relationship, but it didn't get physical until after she had already left and they had to co-parent together for Halo. So even if things don't get to that point, like at this point, I'm at the point where it's just like, have a safety plan regardless if this man ever did anything to you, because these men can switch. They switch so quick. I think, like, I would use this. And some of the other resources I mentioned today will also have safety planning tools or safety planning guides. Having a safety plan in place when you are ready to leave any relationship at this point, even if it's not abusive, at the time that you are ready to leave, I think is essential at this point. Like, it's down bad. It's bad. These men are... Listen, these resources are available in both English and in Spanish, and they're especially helpful for people trying to leave or are still in the relationship that is unsafe. So, National Domestic Violence Hotline, links and phone number in the description box below. Womenslaw.org, created by the National Network to End Domestic Violence, features detailed state-specific legal information about restraining orders, custody, court support, and safety planning. Once again, that safety planning is important. They also offer a confidential email hotline for legal questions. So check it out, you guys. Links in the description box. Love is Respect. Loveisrespect.org offers tailored resources for teens and young adults navigating dating violence. We got to talk about that too, because that happens in high schools and in middle schools, like in college too. Like we have to protect our youth. We have to protect the youth. We have to. They offer texting support. So you can text love is LOVEIS to 22522. That will also be in the description box below. And you can also just visit the website as well. They have quizzes and digital safety guides. They include safety planning for in-person, online, and long-distance relationships. So again, you can text love is to 22522 or call 1-866-331-9474. Link in the description box below. RAINN, RAINN, best for sexual abuse or assault situations. There's 24/7 support with the phone line 1-800-656-HOPE or 1-800-656-4673. They offer guides on what to do after an assault, how to preserve evidence, and find local services. We'll get into a couple of tips on that as well. But again, not again for the first time, I don't even think I mentioned it. But I'm just a bitch that cares, okay? I'm just a random bitch on the internet that cares. If you really need help, like, be sure to also consult with experts and organizations that can provide you with proper safety planning tools. I'll go into some of the things that you can do, some action steps you can consider later after we talk about resources, but please supplement what I'm saying with actual factual help from experts. And these organizations have these experts and have these resources available to you. All right, so that's RAINN. The link's in the description box. Strong Hearts Native Helpline. This is a culturally appropriate resource for Native American women specifically. Again, they offer 24/7 support. The phone number is 1-844-762-8483. And they offer support for safety planning, shelter, and advocacy as well. So shout out to all my beautiful Native American women, beautiful Native American queens. This is a resource specifically for you. I also wanted to share the Center of Relationship Abuse Awareness. This is a hub for advocacy and survivor-centered education. I learned a lot just by browsing for a couple of minutes on the site, really. They offer some safety planning resources, education on a variety of topics, including but not limited to warning signs of abuse, intersectionality, and men's violence against women of color. We got to talk about that. Relationship abuse, frequently asked questions, and developing a safety plan. I will link a bunch of articles down below because I think that they'll be relevant, like just from this website, like how to begin safety planning, how to create a personal safety plan, which is specific for different situations, like if you're living alone or if you're living with your abuser, or if you're planning on leaving your abuser, or if you are actively experiencing an attack. Workplace safety plans, like things you want to consider for yourself and for your children when you are away at work. A college safety plan, I wish I had one. Well, I'm lucky that, nothing happened for me to need one, but I didn't have one. So if something did happen, I would not have one. So that's why, so college safety plan, a safety plan for legal professionals, safety planning for children, for teens, for stalking situations. The links will all be in the description box below. So if something abusive happens, even if it's subtle or not physical, here are some things you can do. You can consider doing. Again, I am just some random bitch on the internet that cares about you. Okay? Do your research. Explore these resources I mentioned. I am not a credible source. I'm just a bitch that cares. I'm providing other credible sources for you. Talk to people who know what they're talking about more than I do. I promise. Please, please, please. Okay. That was refreshing. Excuse Excuse me. Am I alright? I need to go lie down. First, protect yourself. Get to a safe place as quickly as possible and call someone that you trust and someone that you know you can trust. Ideally, someone that you've had conversations about these things prior. Like, even before, like, well, just call someone that you trust. But what I'm thinking, my goal is to start having more conversations with my friends and with my loved ones around domestic violence. I want to be able to create some sort of safe word related things and to have these conversations so that I know that my friends have the knowledge that they would need to help me and vice versa if they need my help. You know what I mean? So call someone that you know that you can trust about these things. And if you are in active danger, for sure call 911 or your local emergency services. But protect yourself, focus on getting yourself to safety. And another thing, it might be worth it. It might be worth it to document the abuse. Again, that's where that journal comes in. Write down as many details as possible as you can possibly remember. Include dates, include times, include specific words and actions, include potential witnesses. Take photos of any injuries or damage to yourself or to your property that your abuser may have done. Even if you're not sure you'll report it. It's very important. Even if you're not sure you will report it, still take those photos anyway. There are a variety of reasons why you may need that evidence, even if you plan on taking this whole thing to your grave, okay? Sometimes, and we've seen this even in high profile cases, sometimes your abuser will, even completely unprovoked, one day just decide to spread lies about you, even go as far as to accuse you of abusing them. And you may end up even being arrested or just having your reputation just tarnished. And to be able to protect yourself, to protect the life that you've created, you have no choice but to defend yourself. Having those photos will be essential to you. We've seen something similar to even like the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, where one day, like after Johnny Depp finally left, Amber decided to, unprovoked, publish that New York Times article. Was it New York Times? Washington Post. Blake Lively was New York Times. Amber Heard was Washington Post. I don't remember. Side note, can we talk about it? Because I know people have been drawing a lot of parallels between the Justin Baldoni Blake Lively case and the Johnny Depp Amber Heard. Can we talk about how much these women look alike? Maybe is that, I don't want to be like, maybe that's prejudicial of me because they're just both white blonde women, but it's not just that. They're both white. They're both blonde. They both have similar face shapes. They both wear their hair in similar ways. And they both published articles seemingly unprovoked. And now it's coming out that it looks like they were both lying. I'm still holding out for Blake Lively just to wait and see, just because she may not necessarily be lying about everything, but she has been caught lying about some things. And it happened in the same way, you know, like right after everything was said and done. Like the movie was over. They could have, the movie was released. Everything was done. They really could have just cut it right then and there. You know what I'm saying? Like it was already clear that Justin Baldoni was kind of just losing interest in continuing on with the series, even though he had the rights to all of them. Like it just seemed like, okay, I'm over this. I'm done. They could have just made a clean break and move on with their lives. But now Blake Lively wanted to accuse, not just because of sexual harassment, but also the idea that there was a media campaign against her when all of that was organic. It just so happened. And it was all sparked because she was acting weird in the interviews. Bro, if you acted like a normal human being during your interviews, none of it would have snowballed, because first she was acting weird in the press tour of It Ends With Us, which caused people to go back and look at her other press tours for other work that she's done, which caused, I'm going to say her name wrong. I've heard her say it multiple times, but I'm going to say her name wrong. Kirsty Flaw. A lot of people say Kirsty Flaw, but I know that's not it. But I've heard her pronounce it, but it's hard. I'm sorry. When Miss Flaw, I don't even know if that's how she identifies. When Flaw, that just sounds like and that's her last name, but it just sounds so weird. When they came out and published the YouTube video for the interview that she had with Blake Lively, and she was being a bitch on that interview, and then that sparked even more, like it just snowballed. And then the whole thing wouldn't have happened if she wasn't acting weird on that damn press tour. If she wasn't trying to crack jokes. Her and Ryan Reynolds, stop trying to be funny. Y'all really need to stop trying to be funny. You're not funny. You're not. You're not funny. You're making fools of yourselves. Half of your career tanking is because y'all keep trying to be fucking fun. Stop. Just stop. Take a comedy class, for Christ's sake, if you're gonna keep trying to be funny. You're not funny, man. You're not. You're really not. You're destroying your own selves here. I'm trying to help you, honestly. Like, stop. Stop joking. Stop telling jokes. You're not doing yourselves any favors. But yeah, I mentioned that, but sometimes it will happen. It's happened in other cases too. And I've seen it happen in my own life with other people who have been in toxic relationships and they leave, and out of nowhere, this man just spreading all type of bullshit about her. I don't know what it is. It's just crazy. It's crazy. You might need that evidence to protect yourself. Even though you've already left, even though you're already safe, you may need to prove what really happened because they're spreading lies unprovoked just because they can't control you anymore. That's what they do. It's like once they can't control you, control your life, the next thing they want to do is just destroy it. They want to destroy it. They want to destroy your life. They want to destroy your resources. They want to destroy your reputation as this one blaze of glory to be like, ha! I got you. You thought you got away from me? Like, no. They're terrible. They're terrible. So be sure to document everything, to share not only photos of damage, but also save text messages, emails, voicemails, DMs, communications, specifically showing abusive behavior, threats, any manipulation tactics, and including text messages of when they apologized, admitting their guilt for things. Because like what happened, Tory Lane's trying to say that somebody else shot Megan. Then why did you apologize and offer her money to stay quiet? You already admitted that you shot her. Bitch, shut the fuck up. These men are so annoying. These men are so annoying. I just can't. The next thing, try to get medical attention. A doctor can also document these injuries for you, even if you don't plan on pressing charges. And you can ask them to make notes in case you want to report it later as well. And plus, it's just important for your physical health and safety. Please get medical attention. And next, speak to advocates. You can use the resources that I mentioned to find advocates to help you understand your legal options, including protective orders and custody rights if applicable. And even if you're not prepared to take legal action, if you're just not ready to do that yet, I think it's worth it to just have the conversations with people and organizations that can help you, just so that you know what your options are. Even if you're not ready to take them yet, just be aware of what your options are, just so that you know that you have them, just so that you don't feel 100% trapped in your situation. Like, I'm gonna stay for now, but there are other things I can do if I don't want to stay anymore. You know what I mean? Just be aware. Just be open to being aware of what the options are. Not trying to pressure you. Just be aware and to be open to be aware of what they are. I also want to recommend this book, but I recommend this book with some serious trigger warnings, okay? Just be mindful. Be mindful. Be mindful, okay? And this is especially helpful, I think. It will be more helpful for women who are kind of like me, who've never really been in a situation like that, but are afraid that they might be one day. So I was checking my library apps. If you don't know, Libby and Hoopla are library apps. You can connect them. You can use your library card at your local library to kind of connect to the books that they have available that you can borrow. And they're ebooks and audiobooks that you can read from your phone or any other device, laptop, whatever. They're super helpful. I love them so much. I love the library. I miss going to the library, but ever since I moved back here, right now I'm in Long Island, the library here kind of sucks. For one, it's kind of far and it's not comfortable. It's too quiet. Like I can't sneeze. I can't sneeze in there. And the book selection is not even really that poppin'. The decor is not very inviting. It's just not a comfortable place to stay and read and just enjoy a fun book. Like, maybe getting some work done is a productive place to get some work done because it's uncomfortable enough for you to just focus and not get too comfortable to relax and whatever. But like, I don't want to be there. Like, I can't wait to move. I hope that wherever I move to has like a really nice library. I love the library. But I found the perfect book that had the perfect title. It's literally called How to Spot Dangerous Men Before You Get Involved. I saw it. I was just like, click, borrow. I need it. I need to read this book. I got the audiobook version. I recommend that every woman read this book if you can, because I do have some warnings. If you can, it can really save your life. The author, I think her name is Sandra Brown. It's been a minute since I read it. She has a lot of professional work in this space, talking to DV victims, talking to abusive men and dangerous men for the purposes of understanding how these relationships form, understanding how these men find these women. She put a lot of her findings together and some stories together in her book to keep us safe so that we can educate ourselves and know what the red flags are. There were so many. I took really good notes. Which is good because I will warn you guys, as much as I do believe every woman and every teenage girl should read this book at some point, it's not an easy read. It's not a very pleasant read. The book includes real stories of women who got caught up with dangerous men, and a lot of these stories are so sad and so heartbreaking and infuriating. These men are... Oh, I'm so mad. Some of them were especially some of these men were just disgusting and deeply disturbing and deeply heartbreaking. So it might be triggering for you to go through all of that just to get the information. So I took really good notes. If you guys want me to make a video specifically for that book, I can do that for you. I can definitely do that for you so that you can skip through the actual stories. Or you can get the book and skip through the stories yourself as well. Hey you guys, my phone ran out of storage. We're not doing that again. Okay, we're not doing that again. Because look at me trying to be all fancy, trying to film, and every single time there's something happens. Like I run out of storage on my phone, or it takes forever for the files to transfer, which is what happened also today. I'm not in the mood. I'm just not in the mood. I'm just not in the mood. So we're going back to just sticking with audio. Maybe I'll do like a little 5-second video intro. I don't know. I'm not filming on my phone anymore. We're just gonna do audio until YouTube pays for me to have a new camera. But for now, let's get back into it. We're almost done. I'm so glad that the files are at least transferring and not all the work is lost, but we're just gonna go audio for the rest of the video. Where we left off, I do have a little warning. If you recognize that you have a pattern of dating toxic or abusive partners, this book will call you out a lot in ways that even I was just like, okay, damn, like, chill out. Like, there will be times where she's just drilling in and I'm just like, oh my goodness. Okay. So if you're not really in the best space to hear it, especially in a very blunt way, take your time. Feel free to pick it back up later. And again, let me know if you prefer me to do a podcast episode on it. I took really great notes so I can break down the information while skipping over the parts that covered women's stories and having a bit more of a compassionate tone, if that is easier for you guys. But if you guys want it, I'm only going to do it if you guys really want it. Otherwise, I highly recommend the book. The book covers several categories of dangerous men, and it's not just men who are physically violent. It also mentions men who are dangerous emotionally and financially, like dangerous to your bank account, honey. Like, so I do appreciate that. Some of these include like the permanent clinger, the parental seeker, those looking for someone to be their mama, they're looking to marry their mama, emotionally unavailable men, mentally ill men. And just a side note, obviously not all people who struggle with mental illness are dangerous, but the book also gives some insights to help identify those who might be. Men who live double lives, like hidden lives, addicts, of course, the violent and abusive men, and last but not least, emotional predators. Men can belong to several of these categories at the same time. For each type, the book covers some of their basic qualities and reasons why they succeed in attracting and manipulating women. The book includes a red alert behavioral checklist for each category, so essentially like a list of red flags, as well as a list of defense strategies, things you can use in that moment to help protect yourself, along with examples and stories, like I mentioned, from women who have had this experience. In addition to recommending this book, I'm also leaving some articles and resources down in the description box below with tips to help women stay safe. Of course, it may also include some resources related to background checks, criminal history, checking if he's on the list, You guys know the list that I'm talking about, the SO list, the S offender list, okay? You may find this information through your local courthouse, your state Department of Corrections. Their websites can also be very helpful. And if necessary, you can also hire a private investigator online, but that's kind of expensive, right? So there are other options and resources out there for you. And once again, if you are currently in a relationship with a dangerous man and you are in fear for your safety, please avoid attempting to leave on your own without some sort of safety plan. Please get in contact with loved ones and local resources in your area to help you come up with a good quality safety plan. And also look into following resources in your area if you need to: shelters, safe houses to help you get back on your feet. Court advocates will accompany you to file charges if you're ready to, and take out restraining orders if you need to. Referrals to social services that you might need, counseling services, law enforcement protection, and legal aid. Yeah. So now that we've gone through all the resources and information, I need to rant for a minute. Because, like, real talk, I'm going to be honest with you guys, even though I recommend this book a lot, and I truly believe that this book can save your life after finishing it, I really did not feel good at all. Like, the way men just be out here dating around, fucking around, cheating around with no fear. None. Y'all just walk out that door every day afraid of nothing. Y'all sit there swiping right on everyone without even giving it a second thought, a second glance. Oftentimes without even a first glance, without even looking at your phone. That's what these men are doing. Like, that's how confident you are in your own safety, how confident you are that none of these women, none of these strangers on the internet that you know nothing about, these people you just give access to, are actually going to harm you in any sort of way. You know how much effort I have to put in to really look at a person's profile before I give them any sort of access to communicate with me in any sort of way, and y'all just like swipe in on your... I can't stand it. Y'all don't even look. I could literally type the words, "I am a serial killer," in all caps, right at the top of the profile. Like, literally right at the top. It's right below the picture. All you have to do is look down. From the first picture, just look down. But you just swipe in. That's how safe you feel in that body that you're living in. It must be so nice. To feel so safe all the time. What a blessing. You are so blessed. You're so blessed. Honestly, I wish I knew what that was like. The thing that truly broke my heart about hearing all these stories from this book was that at the end of the day, all these women just wanted love, just like I do. They just wanted love. They just wanted to be loved. And the punishment for that was so horrific. And rarely do people have any real empathy for them. People are so quick to judge, so quick to victim blame. So don't even take a second to be like, that was so wrong. That should have never happened to you. That man is wrong and evil for violating you like that. I'm so sorry that happened to you. Especially these cases that we're seeing, these high profile cases, like, the empathy is not there. What the hell? I don't understand it. It makes me so incredibly sad because I know what that's like to want love so much, to see other people around you in relationships and wondering when it would be your turn. But I've kind of become afraid of the very desire for love itself. Like, I'm learning that desire, that want for love, while it is a completely valid feeling, it is so critical to our safety and our well-being that we manage that feeling, that desire efficiently. I never, ever want love so badly that I find myself here. And that's not to blame anyone, but it's just to think for the future. I'm afraid that my fear of love might land me in a situation that makes me feel terrible about myself, that makes me feel terrible about my life. It's so important to give ourselves space to feel those feelings deeply and in the most raw, authentic way that we need to, but still don't let it control our actions and our decisions. Like, whoever you are, regardless of your gender, but especially if you are a woman, know that your desire for love is valid. Your desire to be loved is valid. Your desire for partnership is valid. And if you feel any level of sadness or pain that those things aren't currently in your life, those feelings too are also valid, and they matter. All of those feelings matter, but it's so important for your safety, for your emotional well-being, that you don't act from those feelings. I say that to you as I'm speaking to myself. I'm not speaking in judgment. I'm not speaking from putting myself in some sort of elevated position as if I know best and I know better. And I'm telling you, I'm speaking to myself here. I'm going to listen to this podcast episode probably multiple times in my life. I'm going to listen back because I want to hear myself. I'm talking to myself just as I'm talking to you. It's important that we don't act and make our choices from those feelings. Feel them, yes. Unpack them, yes. Express them in all the ways that keep you safe. We allow those feelings to get out of control, to cloud our judgment, to drive our decisions. It could hurt us. It could kill us. And it can harm the people closest to us, especially children. Sometimes being single can feel lonely and isolating and sad, especially since our society has conditioned us that partnership is elevated in comparison to singlehood, especially for women. But there are truly so many horrific things in the world that are so much worse than just chilling on your own, truly. And again, I am speaking to myself as I am speaking to you. There are worse things than being single. Being single is a perfectly fine way to be, a perfectly fine way to live. There is more to life than partnership. In fact, when you arrange your life in a way that optimizes your mood and makes you feel happy, a partnership adds to that. The best one. It's important that you add to the love and the joy that's already here, that was here before you. You can't just take it away, to suck it away and bring nothing but pain and stress to be put in its place. Absolutely not. No. That's all I got for now. Everyone out there watching, listening, please, please, please stay safe out there. I hope that I was able to provide you with resources that will truly help you. I hope that it's healing to you to know what resources are out there for you. It's definitely healing for me to be able to just have faith in myself that while I can't control everything to make absolutely sure that I never find myself in a situation like this, I know that one way or another, I can get myself out of it. I can keep myself safe. I can create a life on my own in singlehood that I can feel good about. Yeah, it improves my confidence. When you have the education, when you have the knowledge, knowledge is power, right? I feel more powerful. I feel more agency, even when the world just feels like it just sucks, especially with one case after the next, after the next, after the next. I pray for Kiki, for Hallie, for Sky, for everyone, every victim, for Megan, the stallion, and everyone that's not a celebrity. I pray that if you are in a bad situation, that in the best way, in all the best ways, you are able to stay safe. I pray that any and all resources and help that can find you will. And I pray for a better future for all of us. Yeah. So take care, like if you feel called to, and wherever you are in the world, I truly hope from the bottom of my heart that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Take care. Bye.